Okay, here we are at Bishop Mule Days 2006 with Fernando Rolim and his girlfriend Mariana, and I'll let Fernando tell you a little bit about what they do in Brazil.
So what we do with meals in Brazil is like we have the gate meals mainly in Brazil, and we raise gate meals mainly for gate competitions and also for people who wants the meals to work with cattle. Brazil we have a big range, we have the biggest number of the cattle around the world, so we need a lot of animals to work with the cattle. So the meals are very used to work because we have a very warm weather in Brazil, and so the meals can do the job better during all day working with the cattle. And now what we are doing is starting a refinement breeders to have the gate meals for the gate competitions. And our second project is to introduce all these animals here in US. So General is the first Pega Jack in United States. So we brought 2 jacks and 1 meal, and now we are starting to introduce this breed. This breed is started in Brazil in 1850. So all the Pega donkeys to be registered in the Pega Donkey Association, they need to have the dorsal stripe, they need to have the cross stripe, they need to be gates, and they need to be refined. Like the eyes, the ears need to be long and parallel, the jaw cannot be heavy. So all these characteristics make him to be registered in the Pega Donkey Association. So now we are just starting introduce this breed here in the United States.
And where will this Jack be stood in the United States? Where is he going to be staying?
This Jack here is going to stay in Sacramento, California, and we will have semen available shipping for all US and Canada. We also have frozen semen from our Jack. He's 5-time national champion in Brazil. His name is Juazeiro do Pascoal. And we have another Jack, and his name is Hercules, and he's just 1 year old. So next year we'll have semen available too. And we have a Mio, and she's going to be trained by Rod Lorray now. So next year we'll have her here in Bishop for the competitions too.
Oh, that's really exciting, Fernando.
Right.
And I heard also that you put together a clinic down in Brazil for some of our American trainers.
Yes, we had like last January the first International Equus Congress, and we had clinicians from US, Switzerland, Israel, Argentina, Portugal. We have different clinicians where our focus were talking about the relationship with the animals, the mules, the horse, and also we visit different ranches. We did a tour, so we had a very great time in Brazil with everybody. We had like 42 Americans, 2 people from Argentina, 2 from Switzerland, 1 from Portugal, 1 from Puerto Rico. So we had a great time in Brazil in January.
Well, that's wonderful. How many different ranches did you visit to put this together?
We visited one Lusitano ranch. It's a breed came from Portugal for dressage animals. We visited Mio ranch. We visit Criollo, is a Brazilian breed for working cow horse. And we visit a ranch where they raise marchadores too. So it's different breeds we have, mostly in Brazil. My goal was like to introduce the technique for the peoples in Brazil and introduce you about what breeds we have in Brazil for the peoples came from outside of the country. My ideas is to introduce meals for new horse peoples. So I want to bring the jacks and the meals for horse shows, big horse show like the Horse Expo in Sacramento, where the peoples can see how the meals are, how the donkeys are, and I can talk and explain what the meals can do. I think the a good way for we bring more people for the meal world, it's going horse shows and introducing the animals so they can see what the mules can do. A lot of people think mules are stubborn, mules are ugly, mules are lazy. So my goal is like change the mind of the peoples and show what the mules and the donkeys can do.
That's a wonderful thing. And last year you were in the Bishop Mule Days parade on Jeanette Carlson's mule. Ebony was the name of the
Yeah.
mule?
Yes.
Can you describe that costume that was there? We do have a picture of you from the parade last year. And if you could tell us a little bit about that costume that you were
Sure.
wearing.
That is the typical Brazilian saddle mule. In the past in Brazil, the what we call tropeiro, the people who travel with the mules, they used all that rings on the breast collar, and also because it's or something they used for commercialize, like something they can change each other because they were just traveling and they didn't have money in that time, they didn't have nothing, so they used that as something for the changing each town they crossed. So and then they start to have that just to make more beautiful animals. So the traditional today keep that for riding mules, mostly in trail rides or in parades. So we keep that traditional from the mule people in the past.
And tell us a little bit about that horn you blew.
Yeah, that's the horn. The name is berrante. We use that for driving cattle around the country. So the cattle will listen that sound and they will follow, and also for the communication between, if you have like 3 or 4 people working with the group of the cattle, they use different sounds to say, okay, we are leaving now, or we are arriving, or it's there is a cattle that run away. So they use that to communicate between people. I'm not a good player, but I'll blow this just to see a little bit how it sounds. So this is the kind of sound, but the good players do a lot better than me, and the cattle get used with this sound, and it's way better to drive out the animals.